What's going down? Baseball Bands channel, Thor's Thoughts of the show. We're back. It's another McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse. It's a double Deathstroke review. We have two different Deathstrokes. Deathstroke. This one first. Rebirth, DC Rebirth version.
And then
Deathstroke Defiance. So we have two different variants. This one's a gold label, Target exclusive. The DC Rebirth version is wide release, just like regular figure. So let's start with, which one should we start with, Peanut?
This one.
The Rebirth? Okay, let's go Rebirth first. So they're not the exact same body type, because this one's got a cape and a couple different variations to it, but there are similar pieces from both bodies that are reused in both figures. So I'm pumped for this. I got the Deathstroke from in the early days of the McFarlane DC Multiverse. There was the Deathstroke from Arkham Origins.
I think that one's cooler.
That one's awesome. I don't know. We haven't gotten this one out yet. How do you know? But that's Slade Wilson.
It looks like copper.
The copper version. It's DC, so it's Arkham Origins. He's more of a beefy armor version than these two. These are sleeker design, more comic accurate versions of Deathstroke. Whereas this is that's just his name, comic book names. But this version is a video game version. These other two versions are comic book versions. So you got a little bit of variation, you know what I mean, in just the way they look. But I was pumped to get both of these. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Rebirth version is a lot easier to come across than the Defiance, the Target Gold label. That one's a little bit more challenging to get, or was a little bit more challenging of the two. This one I think just came straight from McFarlane's toy store, so it was simple, super simple. So this Deathstroke comes with two accessories. You get the little Bowie knife. And then you get his sword double-sided with the hilt there.
Why do you have to get the hilt?
Well, it just has the cross guard or whatever,
What's it for?
For protecting your hands.
Oh.
So it doesn't. So if you're in a sword fight, someone doesn't slash your, slash your fingers while you're holding the sword, right? It protects your finger guard.
Do some swords have that and some don't?
Most swords have some sort of cross guard on them of some sort. So you get the card, which is a comic accurate card, or the comic book card, same as the back of the box, which I think in this version is super dope. It's that him in the rain. He's got blood on his sword and knife. It's pretty sick. And then obviously you get your handy dandy McFarlane standee. You wanna check out the card?
Yes.
So what do you think? You like the knife and the sword?
Yes.
Because obviously everyone's gonna say Deathstroke should come with, pew-pews. Like he should have a couple munitions with him. Now the munitions pack number 2 mine is lost in the mail. So it was supposed to be here 3 days ago, and it's still showing out for delivery and awaiting delivery scan, and that was 3 days ago. So I have very little hope that's actually showing up. So hopefully once I get the munitions pack 2, we'll be able to give this guy some munitions. I mean, I do have the munitions pack 1, so we could give him munitions from that way. But actually, the gun that the Deathstroke from Arkham Origins is holding is a Punisher, Marvel Select.
Where?
Yeah, it's a Punisher gun from the Punisher I have up on one of my Marvel shelves.
Oh, what's a
This guy is
Punisher gun?
cool.
It's like a ninja.
Boom! It is. It's very ninja-esque. He's got the open sheath in the back, whereas this one has like a full sheath to go to the sword. This one just has like an open 2 hooks in the back of his thing. This is more of the classic dark blue. It's like a dark blue and orange design. And then he's got some of the.
Where's the dark blue?
This is dark blue. It's like I wouldn't call it black. I'm pretty sure that's a darkish blue. It's not gray. I mean, it's
black.
You think that's black?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. It's all right. The black and orange costume then, with the classic black and orange mask, which is dope. The one thing I will say is I wish his tassels coming off were as long as the Arkham Origins ones. They're like nice and long. This one, and even in the comic card, you can kind of see the tassels look way longer.
Yeah.
Those are, and orange. And those are,
Yeah.
they made his tassels dark and like really, really, really short, which I think is a missed opportunity a little bit because, I mean, you already had these ones probably. You could have just, honestly, if they would have reused these,
Hold on.
because these orange tassels don't even match the copper of the first one. I think they should have reused those on this Deathstroke. It would, made for a far better.
I'm gonna try to like do it like this, like
Okay.
he's holding like.
Okay,
like
you're gonna
that.
try and put him in there.
Yes.
I do love the armor. I love the knife holder and his boot, his belt, just everything. Even the shoes that he's got on with the orange, just the orange and the I guess we're going with black. The orange and black with a little bit of cream on that arm, and then the scaling that they use for his chest piece, I think is excellent. Excellent. He's got hands that hold stuff, no extra hands, which is a little bit of a disappointment. I mean, I think every figure should come with at least a pair of fists and a pair of open hands of some variety. But that's just me. Like that's just a personal feeling. So let's read the card for this one. You want me to get the sword in?
Yeah.
Here, let me get
It's
the
like
sword in.
super hard.
So, oh yeah, the fingers are nice and strong. There you go. There's this. You want me to put the knife in
Yes.
too, or do you want the knife in his boot?
Knife in his boot.
All right, put the knife in his boot. I'll read the card. Deathstroke, DC Rebirth version. Real name Slade Wilson. Slade is a mercenary and assassin for hire with no qualms about crossing lines to get the job done, no matter where those lines are drawn. A formidable operative for the U.S. military, Colonel Slade Wilson agreed to undergo an experimental process that increased his mental and physical abilities to superhuman levels. Rather than continue his career as a soldier, Slade became the masked mercenary Deathstroke. This decision resulted in his wife leaving him and his son Joseph being permanently injured, as well as the death of his son Grant, who sought to emulate Slade. Oh, wow, that's tragic. Tragic. But one of the best mercenaries and assassins in the DC Multiverse universe. And this classic DC Rebirth suit is... Wow, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful suit. It's got beautiful detailing all around. I love the mask. I love the accessories. Obviously, I wish it came with a gun instead of two swords, but that it comes with two swords. It could use a pair of punching fists, but that's again me being nitpicky. Overall, I'd say like 8, 9 out of 10. Mobility's all there. The joints are all good. It's highly posable. It's got the molded ankles and the molded wrist joints that they've been doing with the DC Rebirth figures. So, well, actually, the wrist joints are the hidden balls, not the molded ones that they've been doing. But that's all right. Like I'm cool with that design because it is like the new style design. So that one's dope. All right, all right. Let's move on. Deathstroke Defiance.
How do you get this knife in?
But this is like
am not
this.
good at putting
This
stuff
is
in
probably your like if you're gonna go like a Deathstroke, this is probably the one right here because he's just the classic. He's got that classic look. He's got that classic. Here you go. There's his knife in. You got that classic look. You got the classic costume. Like I love the Arkham Origins one. But it is a video game version for sure and looks like it with the type of armor that he has and stuff. So this one is more of a sleek... That's more of what I think of when I think of Slade Wilson is definitely more of the DC Rebirth version. But this Defiance version, I didn't even know was coming. This is one of those sneaky ones that they put out. Which, like I said, they reused a lot of the pieces from that body in this, but they added some pieces to it. So it was a variant that was far enough away from that version that I felt like, all right, both of these are worth getting. Because Deathstroke's probably one of my favorite villains in DC, honestly, because Nightwing's my favorite hero in DC. Actually, my favorite hero of all time is Nightwing, and Slade Wilson, Deathstroke, is, something that's, kind of close related to that. So it's like, I don't know, that's why I have an affinity. Now I think I have as many Deathstrokes as I have Nightwings. So the Defiance version comes with a 6 staff. I'll probably say the most ornate staff they've made to date. It's got multiple different texturings on it. I count 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's cool. Got him in like a kicking pose. It's got 4 different texturings on it. So it's a cool staff.
And look, his knife is...
And this one comes with another comic book accurate card, like the back of the box, but not as cool. I mean, it's him holding a sword, which they didn't even give him, which is weird.
What?
Yeah, see, he's got this sword right there. It
What
kind of looks
the
like the sword he's holding there. It actually looks exactly like that sword.
If you're going to add a sword, they'll add a sword.
But if they gave the sword with this one, if they did the same thing with this, people would complain about that too. So you're gonna lose
How
because people will complain about everything. There's your handy dandy McFarlane standee.
How they complain about the same sword?
Well, because if they bought, like, if I bought this figure,
just do the same sword, but like the gold thing, but then
no, you either do a different sword or you don't do a sword. So you gave him a staff.
Like a ghost sword.
A ghost sword? I like it.
Like
that's kind of cool.
He's white, but then he has a ghost sword.
Ghost sword. I love it. All right.
They should make a ghost Deathstroke.
Boom.
Well, like Deathstroke dies from somebody.
Okay.
But then he's like kind of like dead Deathstroke.
Okay, like a deceased. They have a version of that. They have a DC Direct one. Yeah, it's like a zombie deceased Deathstroke. Yeah, they have that.
Yeah, then he should have that.
I'll show it to you later.
Cool.
Okay, so this one does come with the same knife in the boot. But this one's in the boot. So when it comes, it's not in the packaging.
Look at the face. It's metal.
No, it is the same. It's the same head
metal.
sculpt. Yes, it's the same head sculpt. They did a couple different paint apps on it. They made the arms and some of the scaling look different. Now it is a different chest. And it looks like they'd use different biceps.
What's that?
That's just his symbol, like his Deathstroke symbol or the Defiance. I don't know. I've never read the Defiance storyline. But it looks like he has the same exact belt and lower extremities. Like the shoes, I would say from the waist down, this is the exact same figure. Now from the waist up, that's where you get the variation. The head is the same, although they did two-tone the tiny tassels on this one. And didn't go with the long tassels, but they made the neck, they made his actual face, the black side look more metallic, and then they changed up the torso. They changed up the torso a little bit to add more scaling on the outsides and then up on the biceps. But like the wrists are the same, fists are the same, masks the same. Everything else is essentially the same, but this is a very cool variant. Like this is what I like about so I've complained a lot about gold labels over the past. If you looked at any of my last reviews, right? Like Dead Man, Tim Drake Robin. This is exactly what I'm talking about though. In a gold label should be a different color variant. Like when Azrael, the Knights Templar one. Yeah, this staff looked like it's a tough get. Because it's these hands are tight. Oof. Real tight. There you go. Got a little bit in there. So he does have some shoulder pads and the cape. And I love the cape. I think the cape looks dope. And then they gave him a couple shoulder pads that are attached to the upper arm. Here, let me see them real quick.
Hold on, I want to go like...
Yep. Let me see if I can... I just want to check out the mobility. Now, there's obviously...
He's pushing forward like...
Okay, yeah. They couldn't see you stepped out. But it's okay.
Dang it.
It's all right. I got it. I understood. The shoulder pads and the cape obviously hinder the shoulder mobility. He can't raise his hand as high.
I like the cape,
he can't raise his hand like he is on the thing.
I would want like figures to have like if they have a cape, I would want it to be like flexible, like you can put like the cape in different poses.
You want like wired capes?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yes,
I mean,
because I want poses. Because it would be cool if you could like if he's like jumping off a building, it would be cool like the cape like would be.
If you can move the cape to do that. Well, I mean, you can customize it. You can take off this cape and put a custom wired cape on there. You can do stuff like that. I'm not doing that, but you could do that. Let's read the card. All right. Honestly, it's the same thing. Deathstroke Defiance. Real name, Slade Wilson. Slade Wilson is a mercenary and assassin for hire with no qualms about crossing lines to get the job done, no matter where those lines are drawn. A formidable operative for the U.S. military, Colonel Slade Wilson agreed to undergo an experimental process that increased his mental and physical abilities to superhuman levels. Rather than continue his career as a soldier, Slade became the mass mercenary Deathstroke. This decision resulted in his wife leaving him, his son Joseph being permanently injured, as well as the death of his son Grant, who sought to emulate Slade. Cool. There you go. There's 3 Deathstrokes.
It's kind of like he's evolving into like a new thing, like Pokemon. You know, they evolve.
He evolves like Pokemon.
Version. It's not evolved, but it's actually a version.
But he evolved into an assassin.
I think it should be different because I think he should be.
Which one's your favorite? Rebirth, Origins, or Defiance?
Probably
What are you going with?
this one, but then this one, but then this one.
Wow, 1, 2, 3. In the beginning, you're like, that was the best. Before we opened any of them, you already said that one was the best. Now at the end of the video, you're saying this one's the best, that's second, and that's third. I totally agree. Those are awesome. The double Deathstroke, triple Deathstroke,
like,
totally.
Because this is like the comic one. It has like the thing.
Yeah.
But like here, it just looks like more like not cartoony. It's just.
Yeah, it's more of a video game. It's a video game, not comic book, and we like comic books more than.
I know.
Well, I like comic book versions more than.
Look as you can see, the neck is kind of like robot-y.
You like that metal? You like the way they did that gray wash on the metal look?
It's like robot-y.
I'll be honest.
Metal.
I thought it was going to be DC Rebirth for me, but I'm with you. I think this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. There you go. There you have it.
It doesn't. I mean, this one has the thing, but it doesn't really have.
Besides the long tassels, it doesn't have anything that beats these two. Now I wish they would have used those long tassels on the two, but that's another story. So you know what to do. To the next one. Deuces.